Remember when VGK lost in the shootout to Ottawa last week and Shea Theodore wasn't even one of the shooters? And Chris was screaming, "Where was Theodore? Where was Theo?" Well, last night, luckily, VGK got into the fourth round of the shootout. And finally, Bruce Cassidy sent Shea Theodore out to shoot, and he scores the winning goal in VGK's 4-3 victory over the Blackhawks. We'll talk about it next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone, from Las Vegas. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick, and Theo's Broken Twig. Thanks for making us your number one choice. We are the number one podcast network on the planet, and I am a longtime sportscaster. I am a marketing consultant and the host of the Believe in Vegas podcast. Chris is the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports, collectibles editor for the Hockey News, and the host of the Hockey News podcast, Collectibles Podcast. We are brought to you today by FanDuel. Make sure that you sign up. Download the app at FanDuel.com. Don't forget, we are also on SSSEN each and every day. Of course, Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Channel 77 on your Cox box and on YouTube TV. So, Chris, VGK finally pulls out an overtime / shootout victory last night in what was a highly entertaining game at T-Mobile Arena. And after a scoreless overtime period, VGK went to the shootout. Pavel Dorofeyev scores for VGK. Connor Bedard, just a dazzling goal in that extra period there in the shootout. Eichel and Marner missed, and Ryan Donato and Frank Nazar missed. And again, we go into the fourth round. Well, we finally go into the fourth round, and Bruce Cassidy finally inserts Shea Theodore, who is now, I believe, 9 of 20 on shootout attempts. And he beats Spencer Knight on the backhand. And finally, Bruce Cassidy heard your plea, and he goes to Theo.
Yeah, I mean, Theodore had some fun in the locker room. Carpy was asking him about the play. Next question. And someone else asked him about his forehand backhand play. Next question. We were literally standing in the corner downstairs watching it. And I said, forehand backhand game. Like, you know what's coming. You know exactly what it's going to be. And it's a great move that he has. And go to the well until it runs dry, right? So Good job on Theodore to be ready to get his name called finally late in the game. And you have a Theodore broken twig. That broken twig almost cost the Golden Knights in overtime. Theodore, I think, was out there almost 90 seconds without a stick. And, when you're in your defensive zone, when it's a long change, you stay on the ice, until you get the puck out of the zone. And eventually Theodore just said, F it, and got to the bench and put the team at risk for a little bit, but it was a greater gain for him to go to the bench, get out of the way, and get a fresh pair of legs with a hockey stick out there.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It's so funny we're talking about the broken twig on the show. I said he would score. He would score last night. He was one of my picks with the broken twig. We just had a ton of fun with that. And it finally breaks the 7 straight overtime and shootout drought for the Golden Knights. And so they finally break through, and that is a good thing again. And we talked about, I thought that they needed to win the game last night before they go out on the road. I thought it was a nice W, despite the sloppiness. It was not a very good defensive game for the Golden Knights.
No, a couple things. Golden Knights overtime shooting percentage still basically remains 0. The only time the Golden Knights beat a goalie in overtime was Alex Nedeljkovic, who was on the blue line as Riley Smith scored the game winner. Same game when Jack Eichel scores from half court. And at times, like the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, it felt like the Golden Knights were just going to impose their will on Chicago. Time and space everywhere on the ice. Puck goes in the corner. Golden Knights win the battle, get it up high, plenty of time and space to move the puck around. From the cycle down low, plenty of time and space to move the puck around. I felt like the only way the Golden Knights were going to lose this game is if they played down or tried to force Chicago into mistakes instead of letting Chicago make mistakes. And it was an okay game at moments for the for the Golden Knights, but for the Golden Knights to, take a step up to being among the elite teams in the NHL, a game like this shouldn't be this close.
Sloppy game for VGK overall, and they did allow a lot of odd man rushes. And one of the things in the transition game that they had, a difficult time, the breakaway, and we'll talk more about Carter Hart in our second segment, but he had to take a penalty there, and they just needed to play better in the transition game. Do they not have their legs, or what do you think you can attribute it to that Chicago was just, they were dominant in the odd man rush?
Chicago played the Golden Knights game, right? They found some good opportunities in transition. They got some good forwards. I mean, outside of Connor Bedard, of course, you got Frank Nazar, you got Ryan Green. Burkowski is a vet; he knows where to go. Tyler Bertuzzi, you highlighted him on yesterday's show. You can go on about the Lev Shenef, very good defenseman as well, saved a great goal, or a great scoring opportunity for the Golden Knights late in that third period. And he got hurt, but yeah, so a lot to like about that Chicago Blackhawks team. Again, they're with the Ducks. They're a step below, but they're with the Ducks. They're with the Canadians. They're with these teams that are just developing these stables of amazing players, and they're eventually going to run the NHL at some point, and they're going to give teams like the Golden Knights and the Stars and the Avalanche a run for their money every time they're out there. Just kind of watching back some of the goals, right? I mean, the first goal, it's an odd man rush. I thought that that was not a great goal for Hart to give up. Hart himself said he overcommitted on that one. So yeah, and then the Bertuzzi goal was just a weird one. I don't know if you want to take us through that one.
No, well, I mean, so VGK had the first two goals. They came off of Wyatt Kaiser and Matt Grzelcyk, right? And then Ivan Barbish, just 27 seconds into the game, our guy Benji Hutton also scoring in the second.
Difference maker.
Yeah. Braden Bowman scores late, 2.5 to go after Connor Bedard. Filthy, disgusting, that goal that made it 3-2 Chicago. And then, Braden Bowman, I mean, too, like there's so many things to talk about, to unpack about this game, but Braden Bowman just hacking away in front of the net, and he puts the puck in the net. And I thought, again, just get to the front of the net. And I know that Bruce Cassidy does not like the young players, but he's got to appreciate that effort too.
I think he has him on a tighter leash. I don't think it's about liking him or not. So the Bowman goal, what I like about that, about that goal is all 5 Golden Knight players on the ice touch the puck in the transition right there. Just shows when the Golden Knights transition game is on, they're pretty good too. You talked about that Bedard shot. So like, it reminds me of those shoot the puck things you see like at intermission. You got some clown at center ice who's never touched a hockey stick in their life. Sometimes they have a relatively reasonable sized gap to score between it. Yeah, exactly. It's, the width of, 2 or 3 pucks basically. And then you have those ones where you can win a car or something like that. And the puck is the hole for the puck to go through is literally 1/4 of an inch greater than the diameter or circumference of a puck. And it's it's barely any higher. So if the puck's likely coming in on bad ice and whatever, that's the window that Bedard broke to score that goal. If you look at Carter Hart's positioning, he's exactly where he should be. Bedard had whatever the width and circumferences of a puck, his margin of error on that goal was like 1/10 of an inch and up and down and side to side. And Bedard just broke that window on a beautiful shot. Theodore kind of did his job. It's not that he, Theodore got beat by a better player in that circumstance.
Oh,
I guess that's the way to look at that.
Yeah, that was no joke. Bedard looks like a much better, different player. I don't know how he was.
McNabb and Marner do get beat on that plate, so that led to it, unfortunately.
Absolutely, they really did. And then, whoa, we lost the stick. Twig fell. Twig down. Speaking of twigs, did you know that, Connor Bedard shortened his stick this season? That's one of the things they emphasized.
That's hard to do.
Broadcast.
Hard to do.
So, and you know why he did it? So that he could play better,
more puck control,
the tighter corners.
Yep.
Which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, the shorter the stick, the faster you can be as far as stick handling, release. He's got a lethal release as it is, and if his back can handle it, then the shorter the better. Really fast, I wrote down Brandon Saad's name. I
Oh,
thought Saad responded really well after being benched, obviously, and then he had to win, I guess, a practice battle with Riley Smith to get in the game. Early on, Golden Knights did not have a lot of high dangers, and I felt like Saad was the only one that was trying to will the team, somewhat in the game. So credit to Saad in the poster effect for maybe keeping Saad in the lineup another game.
coming up next, Carter Hart shakes off the rust to get his first victory as a Golden Knight, his first win in 2 years. We'll talk about it next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. When I am hydrated, everything just works better. My focus, my energy, my mood, even my skin. That's why I've been using DripDrop. That's right. It's doctor developed hydration. It keeps me running all day at full power, full speed, no matter what the day looks like. DripDrop isn't your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading brands. And it uses a scientifically backed formula that is trusted by medical professionals, by firefighters, and over 90% of the top college and pro teams. I like using Drip Drop, and each and every day, my go to flavor has been peach, and I do drink it, and it's become my secret weapon for staying sharp and energized through these very, very long, almost winter days. Is it winter yet? I think
Yes,
close.
it's cold outside.
All right. Yes, it's cold outside. It's officially winter declared by Chris Collick. Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners of Lockdown Golden Knights 20% off of your first order. So please go to dripdrop.com, dripdrop.com, and use the promo code LOCKDOWNNHL. Back from Las Vegas, Tony Cardasco. Chris Golick is back home in his own little hood. He doesn't have to look over his shoulder each and every moment. Those are some pretty scary moments down there at the beach the other day.
I watched back some of that, and it was funny. Like that was me literally keeping an eye on my surroundings. That
Oh,
was so
no, we
funny.
knew it wasn't an act. No, it was not an act. Oh, last night, little Chris got a Bedard puck. Is that right?
Yeah, so we don't go down to the glass as much as we used to, but when the Rangers are in town, or McDavid and the Oilers are obviously, of course, Bedard and the Blackhawks, we went down for warm-ups, and Bedard starts by shooting one puck in the corner to all the Hawk fans, and Bedard looks up, sees Chris rocking his Oilers jersey, fires it right over the glass, and a little bit of eye contact there for a moment, and a great moment for Chris. So that one's already up on the mantle, and yeah, that was pretty special. Bedard, it's good luck whenever you give a puck to little Chris. So next time you come to Vegas, if you want to score another goal, you know what you got to do pregame.
He needs to sign it too. Maybe next time the stick, hopefully. He gets the stick, the twig. It's
I'm not
shorter.
worried about that. It was
No,
an exciting moment. It was nice.
Were you asking me earlier? I just like during the break, I'm thinking, I think I didn't even answer your question about Bertuzzi, right? And that goal. And
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's better to talk in this segment anyway because it's more about Carter Hart. So yeah,
it is about Carter Hart. Yeah. So go ahead. So what were your thoughts on
Oh
that
no, yeah.
goal?
I mean, listen,
It's a bad
just a
goal.
general perspective. The first goal, I thought Carter Hart overcommitted, and Hart himself said in the post game he overcommitted on that goal. So I guess a good observation from the cheap seats in 217 by me. Hart got a lot better as the game went on. The Bedard goal, whatever, the shootout goal, who cares? But the second goal, the Bertuzzi goal, listen, the optics don't look great on that. It never looks good when the goalie goes 5 feet outside the crease trying to play the puck and the puck winds up in the net. But first, you got to make a decision. He made a decision. A little bit late, but he made a decision. Shoots it off the player, winds up in the back of the net on a quick shot. I mean, it's just a bad luck circumstance, but not necessarily a bad goal.
I can almost assure you that Carter Hart will not be getting the same reception on the road. He will
No,
not.
of course not.
No. And the fans here were just awfully nice last night.
There was one fan that had like 8 different signs on the glass, basically not
Negative
happy
sign?
about him, but everyone else
Well,
very supportive.
And they're allowed to do that.
Of
And
course.
yes. And but
There's no
wait
problem
till
with that. There's no
wait till
problem
you
with
go.
that at all. Everyone
So
has their perspectives. That's fine.
next 2 games at the Devils, at the Rangers. New York City will be a more hostile environment. Do you play them in New Jersey at the Rock?
I think so. You get this, and you see it in football too a lot. Players getting touchdowns against their former team and all that. Schmid came from the Devils, so I think Schmid likely plays that game. I think actually, and it's not going to be like this all the time, but I think just the way this road trip works out, you might see
He's going to
close
play in
to a.
Philly. Is he going to play in
Oh, he's
Philly?
going to play in Philly. 100%. He's going to play in Philly.
Carter
100.
Hart will play in
ESPN picked
Philly.
up that game, Tony. They know something. Don't kid yourself.
Okay.
So I think it's going to go Schmid, Hart, Schmid, Hart, Hart is how this is going to play out. New Jersey for Schmid,
right.
New York Islanders for Schmid, and then Rangers, Philly, Columbus for Hart, and then one quick home game on the 17th. Then they go to Calgary and Edmonton. That's where you're going to see a lot of venom coming out for obvious reasons.
You will. And 900 save percentage, that leads the team already after one game. 27 of 30 shots stopped. I've got to say, man, like, kudos to Spencer Knight. I think that got lost in everything last night.
Knight had a really good game. Knight had a really good game.
Unbelievably great game. Overtime was phenomenal. I thought, again, I'm not a homer, obviously, for VGK. I thought Knight outplayed him. I did. I thought he was better than Carter Hart. And it's unbelievable. And kudos to him for the comeback there. He had some mental illness issues and a number of different things throughout his career. Now he's stabilized there in Chicago. He's found a home. I think it's great, personally.
I think kudos to the NHL and their player assistance program because there's been multiple players that have entered and found a path back into the NHL and being successful. So, yeah, Spencer Knight obviously has to do the best he can to get himself back in this spot, and it's okay to ask for help, and that doesn't apply to professional hockey by any means. That applies in life. So, good on Spencer Knight. Both goalies were really good. I think there was only a couple of high danger chances for the Golden Knights. Mark Stone, great job just willing himself for that breakaway, and then I forgot who it was on just basically a quick rebound. Knight got down and saved it. Hart was under duress most of the overtime period, though. Again, the Golden Knights, and unfortunately, it was Shea Theodore's broken stick circumstance that we highlighted in the first segment. But
broken twig.
I feel like the Blackhawks had the puck on their stick 4.5 minutes, and I'm trying to pull up the shift chart. I think Bedard took a 3.5 to 4 minute shift in that overtime. He would not go off the ice, and it was just during when Shea Theodore lost that stick. But listen, Carter Hart, you watch him in pregame. This dude locks in. You watch him in intermissions. He is locked in. He spent the entire intermission leading up to the shootout just sitting there on his knees, looking down at the ice. Some of his eyes are open or closed, but he is locked in. The mental side of his game is where it needs to be. Obviously, he's got more, got to play more and everything, but you could tell the preparation has paid off, and that's why I wasn't sure what to expect. No one knew what to expect after watching him in Henderson. His numbers were bad, an 8.36 or whatever his save percentage was, but it was about the preparation. And you watch him in the post game, very humble, very good answers in the locker room, and great celebration from the team. I think he got the shower. I don't know if it was beer or water, but he got the shower when everyone when he came in the locker room afterwards from the players. There's a lot of support, and this might be a rallying point for the Golden Knights in this 25-26 season.
Yeah, perhaps. And like we said, I thought they over celebrated in that win over San Jose, and that was like they were going crazy bonkers. And then
it's for Lindbaum. It's for Lindbaum. That's why.
Yeah, that was for Lindy as they call him. But I also felt as though, last night they needed to win before they go out on the road.
How do you rate Carter Hart? Let's say 1 to 10. How do you rate Carter Hart's return last night? How do you look? What do you think?
Oh, man, I have a mixed reaction there, to be honest with you. He's a big goalie, as I mentioned, because I was out there on the ice the other day, and he's standing around. He's 6'5", so he takes up a lot of the cage. I would give him about a 7.23 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll just keep it easy. I'll go 8.15 because we have to have a hook of some sort, I guess.
We have to have some sort of a decimal point hook in there.
But I mean, the totality of the situation, the hard work he did put in to get back to this moment, everything he's been through, everyone can have their judgments and fine, whatever. That's what anyone's free to think what they want about everything that occurred. But all the personal things he dealt with, he had to come back and rise above and get his game to that elite level that every player needs to have. So kudos to Hart for that preparation. And it's only going to get more difficult as time goes on. So we'll see how this plays out. But I'm with you. But 8.15 for his return.
It was entertaining. It was kind of funny, that Torts was in the studio last night as, the host and talking about Hart and what he does well, what he doesn't. And then the fact that last
You've
time
seen him a lot over the years.
Yeah, December 29th of 2023. So it's been a long, long road. Coming up next, Chris wants to talk about VGK lacking a difference maker. We'll get to that as we return on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. NFL Sundays move fast, as do NFL Thursdays and maybe Mondays and every single day that the NFL steps out onto the field. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. And you're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it truly in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every single drive, every momentum swing, every highlight, every single moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot, the defense starts to tighten up, the momentum flips after a turnover. VGK, of course, doesn't have a lot of momentum, according to Bruce Cassidy. And FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. You can bet the next touchdown score. You can bet on drive results. You can bet on totals and much, much more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, make sure that you go to FanDuel.com and you can place all of your NFL live bets. Go to FanDuel. The game moves fast, and so can you. Chris, no longer on assignment. Welcome back to Locked On Golden Knights. Of course, we appreciate you making us your first listen on the world's #1 sports podcasting network. So, we've come a long, long way. Don't forget that you can also catch us on SSSEN each and every day, 1 o'clock. Of course, that is Cox Cable, Channel 77, YouTube TV. And please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel and leave comments there because Friday is WTF Day. What's the Friday? Fast. And we have a WWW or WTW or something like that, or WWE. Chris wants to talk about VGK lacking a difference maker. What's up with that?
So real fast, Bedard had a 2-minute and 31-second shift in overtime, which matched basically the 2-minute shift that Shea Theodore took when he broke his stick right there. So I thought that was interesting. And yeah, I mean, listen, VGK, this is a tweet that, of course, I mentioned. VGK lacks a difference maker. Someone like a Jonathan Marchessault, you put the puck on their stick, they score the goal, and they're the one that's going to bring your team back or score the game-winning goal. And unfortunately, everyone said, "Oh, everyone should be over Marchessault. He left. Get over it." Like, no, I didn't say Marchessault. I said a difference maker like Marchessault, but whatever. You see it in that game last night, and Bedard, of course, scores that amazing goal. Bedard's a difference maker. McKinnon's a difference maker. Obviously, McDavid's a difference maker. Austin Matthews, when he has Mitch Marner on his wing, is a difference maker, so on and so forth. Golden Knights don't have that person yet. They got a lot of really good players, and Dorofeyev might have started the season as that person when he was on about a 50-goal pace, and that certainly slowed down a little bit. So this is where the Golden Knights, I'm not sure what McCrimmon's going to have up his sleeve to possibly address this. And is this the type of situation that can be a difference maker by committee? Maybe, but it's where you need someone like Mitch Marner to start scoring some goals, obviously, and Jack Eichel to find more paths to big goals. And you still need someone on the Golden Knights to be a little more selfish with the puck. I thought there was a lot of good shots passed up in favor of this low percentage shot.
Yeah, I semi agree with you there. I think that we will see difference makers as the season goes on and
by committee.
Well, I think Marner and Eichel will begin to separate themselves. I think Mitch Marner, to be quite honest with you, is still kind of feeling his way through.
I would agree.
Like, Yeah, there's something that is just lacking there, something that's missing maybe on the chemistry side as far as who his line mates will eventually be. I don't know that Brett Howden is the answer there to his line. And yeah, well, after the Brett Howden line, he's on the Brett Howden line. Who would have thunk that?
Well, Howden and Stone chemistry. Howden and Marner, not sure.
Not sure.
Marner and Stone, not sure.
Right,
So
exactly.
they're basically putting Marner in hopefully a comfortable spot. And I thought they had moments last night. I thought that line was okay.
Yeah, they had some moments, and Howden was the beneficiary, of course. I think with those two elite players there. Riley Smith, a healthy stretch again.
He's
So
not a
does
difference
Saad,
maker.
no, but does Saad win that spot? Real quick, I just wanted to get that out.
Temporarily, I think Saad definitely got the juice out of it, and I think Saad registered 3 high danger chances himself last night, and they were difference maker type of goals too that they would have been, right? It was Saad just went really hard to the net every chance he got, and he's either looking to put that puck into the money zone or he's just creating a high danger chance for himself, and I think he did that. And
Mhm.
maybe it's not like one difference maker, right? Although the Golden Knights do have 3 players pacing for 30 or more goals in Eichel, Hurdle, and
Right.
Dorofeev. So you
Hurdle.
can argue the committee the difference maker by committee approach could certainly work. And then if you get a player like Saad who's going to score, every 10 games, one of these goals where it's just he wills it and he does it himself or something like that. And Shea Theodore has that ability too to go, coast to coast with the puck and score razzle dazzle type of goals. He had one not too long ago. So, or Ben Hutton, apparently. Ben Hutton and his 19 games played tied for the defensive scoring lead for the Golden Knights, just as we
3
all
goals.
predicted.
Yeah. No, hey, and it's going to be tough. I mean, guys that are not going to want to give up their positional play. Of course, Braden Bowman does not want to leave the lineup. Benny Hutton. Benny
Bowman's
Hutton.
playing at a 50-goal pace right now, for crying out loud. 5 games, 11 goals.
I know. It's tremendous the
40
job
goal
that
pace, whatever.
youngster's doing. And he does it like literally with a lot of poise. He
He
really
does
does.
it like a vet. He does it like a
He
vet.
does. He's rushing the net and he's doing all the good
Maybe
things.
Bowman's a difference maker.
A guy that is not a difference maker is Zach Whitecloud. He has not scored a goal in 50 games, they pointed out on the broadcast. 50 games. I know
He had
he's
some
not the
moments
most
last night. He's
scorer.
playing with the bubble. Bubble's going to throw him off. He took a puck to the jaw the other day. I don't know if he lost some teeth or what the deal is,
50 games, though. 50 games.
yeah,
This is very
for sure.
Carlson-like. It's very Carlson-like. Carlson hasn't scored in about 12 games or so.
Carlson got to play in about 50 games first. I mean, yeah. So listen, good things happening with the Golden Knights. Carter Hart, good game. That was
I don't know where Carlson's going to fit in. I don't know where he's going to fit into this lineup.
It might be Carter Hart's net sooner than later.
I said
It's his net right now. It's his net right now.
We appreciate you tuning in, especially our everydayers. Thank you so much. Back again tomorrow from my man, Chris Golick. I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. See you tomorrow right here on Lockdown Golden Knights.